There is a particular shade of blue that only exists on Monday mornings when the universe has decided to rewrite the script before your alarm goes off. A blue that hangs between the curtain and the window frame like a secret pressed between the pages of a book you forgot you were reading. And tomorrow when you wake up, before your eyes have fully adjusted to the daylight, you will feel it. You will feel that the air in your bedroom has been replaced with something lighter, something that smells like warm bread and possibility, and the exact temperature of a hug that arrives exactly when the shiver starts. You will stretch your legs under the blanket and your toes will not find the cold spot they usually find on Monday mornings. The spot that makes you pull your knees back toward your chest and negotiate with the snooze button as if 5 more minutes could solve the existential weight of a new week. Tomorrow is not that Monday. Tomorrow is the Monday that breaks the pattern. The Monday that future versions of you will reference when they need proof that good things do not only happen on Fridays or in December or after you have suffered enough to deserve them. Tomorrow, Virgo, is the Monday that smiles first, and you are merely catching up to its grin. You have been dreading the Sunday evening with the familiar heaviness of someone who has learned to associate the setting sun with the tightening of a vice around their chest, already mentally drafting the to-do list, already rehearsing the polite but firm emails, already calculating how many hours of sleep you might get if you fall asleep in the next 20 minutes, and your brain cooperates with the silence. You have been laying out your clothes with the precision of a general preparing for battle, checking the weather 3 times, charging every device, washing the mug you will use for coffee, performing the rituals that give you the illusion of control over a week that has historically felt like a wave you are always swimming against. But tonight, something is different. The Sunday scaries have been evicted. In their place is a flutter, a soft and insistent tapping at the window of your intuition, like a bird who knows you have breadcrumbs in your pocket even though you have forgotten them. You will feel it while you are brushing your teeth, while you are setting the coffee maker, while you are laying out the outfit that suddenly seems less like a uniform and more like a costume for a role you did not know you had been cast in, the role of someone who receives good news before breakfast. Let me tell you about the news, because your mind is already racing through possibilities, already trying to predict the unpredictable, already bracing for disappointment because that is what Mondays have taught you to do. But this news is not in your spreadsheet. This news is not the result of a strategy you plotted at 2 a.m. with color-coded sticky notes. This news is coming from a direction you have not been monitoring, through a door you thought was painted shut, on wings that do not show up on radar. It might be a phone call that interrupts your commute, a voice on the other end that is breathless with excitement before you have even said hello, someone who has been sitting on information that they could no longer contain and chose your Monday morning as the detonation site for their joy. It might be an email with a subject line so ordinary that you almost archive it unread, except your finger hesitates, your intuition whispers, and you open it to find words that make you sit down on the nearest surface, regardless of whether it is a chair or the floor. It might be a letter, yes, an actual piece of paper that has traveled through postal systems and human hands to reach your mailbox, stamped and weathered and carrying a weight that digital pixels cannot replicate. It might be a face appearing at your door, someone who drove through the dawn because they could not wait another hour to see your reaction, because the news is too big for a screen and demands the theater of your actual living room. The content of the news is less important than the effect, but I will give you the texture of it because your soul is hungry for specifics. This is not a minor improvement. This is not a parking spot close to the entrance or a coffee machine that actually works. This is the kind of news that rewrites the narrative of your recent past, that retroactively illuminates the struggles of the last 6 months with a caption that reads, "You were being prepared for this." It is validation wearing the disguise of an opportunity. It is closure arriving dressed as an opening. It is the answer to a question you stopped asking because you assumed the silence was permanent. Someone has been working behind the scenes, not in the shadows of deceit, but in the quiet of genuine care, and they are ready to hand you the fruit of their labor. A project you proposed has been approved by people who actually read it and understood it. A creative work you thought was ignored has been seen by eyes that matter, eyes that are now offering you a platform you did not think you were allowed to dream about. A relationship that has been stalled in neutral is about to shift into drive, not because anyone forced it, but because the timing has finally clicked into place with an audible snap that both of you will hear simultaneously. A financial relief is arriving in the exact amount needed to dissolve a knot that has been tightening in your stomach since spring. A health concern is receiving a second opinion that sounds completely different from the first, lighter, solvable, wrapped in the competence of a stranger who will become your hero. One of these is yours. Maybe all of them are in different seasons. But tomorrow, at least one lands with the precision of a dart thrown by the universe after years of practice. You will smile so hard that your face will feel unfamiliar. That is the part the title promised you. And I need you to understand the physiology of what is about to happen, because you have been living in a state of low-grade contraction for so long that expansion might feel like danger at first. Your zygomatic muscles, the ones that pull the corners of your mouth upward, have been underutilized. They have atrophied slightly from the polite, tight-lipped acknowledgments you have been offering the world, the half smiles that say, "I am fine," without convincing anyone. Tomorrow they will be called into full service, and they will ache. Oh, they will ache, but it will be the ache of a body part remembering its purpose after a long hibernation. Your eyes will crinkle at the corners in a way that releases something stored behind the sockets, a pressure you did not know you were carrying until it suddenly drains. Your shoulders will drop away from your ears. Your jaw will unclench so dramatically that you will hear a small pop, the sound of a lock that has been rusted open by the oil of relief. You might laugh, and the laugh might startle you because it will come from a deeper place than your recent laughs, from a diaphragm that has been held rigid by vigilance and is now free to move like a bellows again. You might cry, and if you do, let them be the tears that wash rather than wound, the salt water that heals the exact spot where hope had been calloused over by repetition. And the best part, the part that will make you smile again every time you remember it for the rest of the week, is that the news will be completely unexpected in its packaging. You are waiting for the grand gesture, the dramatic entrance, the cinematic score swelling under the declaration. But the universe has a sense of humor that loves the mundane. The good news will arrive while you are doing something so ordinary that you will almost miss the miracle of it. While you are buttering toast, while you are searching for a matching sock, while you are standing in the line at the pharmacy or the post office or the place where you buy the same lunch you always buy because it requires zero decision making, the messenger will be someone you see every day or someone you have never seen before, and the exchange will last less than a minute but will contain enough voltage to power your entire month. A barista who hands you your coffee and says, "By the way, someone left this for you," sliding an envelope across the counter with a grin that suggests they know exactly what is inside. A coworker who stops by your desk not to ask for a favor, but to say, they called, they said yes, they want you. A neighbor who waves you down in the parking lot to return a package that was misdelivered, except the package is not a mistake at all. It is the exact thing you ordered from the universe 6 months ago when you were brave enough to whisper a wish into the dark. Your Monday routine will try to assert itself. Your mind will attempt to file this news under pending review or too good to be true or wait for the catch. Do not let it. This is your training ground for receiving. Virgo, you are excellent at giving, at organizing, at showing up for others with a reliability that borders on the superhuman. But receiving has always made you feel slightly guilty, slightly exposed, slightly afraid that if you accept a gift too eagerly, it will be revealed as a loan with hidden terms. There are no terms. There is no interest. There is no expiration date on the joy that is being delivered to your doorstep like a newspaper that only prints good headlines. Let yourself receive it with both hands open, with a thank you that does not include a disclaimer, with a grin that does not apologize for taking up space on your face. The people around you will notice. They will ask what happened, what changed, why you are glowing like someone who swallowed a light bulb. You do not have to explain. You can simply say, Monday decided to be kind, and leave it at that. The mystery will make the moment even sweeter. The not knowing of others will amplify the knowing in your chest. The secret handshake between you and the universe that says, see, I told you I was paying attention. By noon, the news will have metabolized into something that feels less like shock and more like certainty. You will find yourself humming while you work, a tune you have not thought about in years, a song from a summer when you still believed that life was fundamentally friendly. The belief is returning, not as a naive assumption, but as an earned understanding, a veteran's knowledge that survived the battles and came home with medals made of Monday mornings like this one. You will eat your lunch and it will taste better, not because the recipe changed, but because your taste buds are no longer filtered through the lens of stress. You will look out the window and notice that the trees are doing something interesting with the light, that the clouds have arranged themselves into a shape that looks suspiciously like a thumbs up, that the world has always been this beautiful and you have simply been too tired to register it. The tiredness is lifting. Not all at once, not like a curtain dropping, but like fog burning off a lake, slowly revealing the water that was always there, calm and deep and ready to reflect the sky. The afternoon will bring a secondary wave, a realization that ripples outward from the initial news and touches parts of your life you did not expect it to reach. You will remember a conversation from 3 weeks ago and understand what it really meant for the first time. You will see a connection between two events that previously seemed unrelated, and the connection will form a bridge that makes your path forward obvious, inevitable, exciting. You will text someone you have been avoiding because you did not know what to say, and the words will come easily, generously, warmly, because your heart is no longer defending a fortress and has opened its gates to let the traffic flow in both directions. You will make a decision that you have been postponing for months, not because the news forced your hand, but because the news reminded you that you are allowed to choose happiness, that the option has always been on the menu, and you have simply been ordering from the fear column out of habit. And when the day ends, when the Monday that broke the curse gives way to the evening that feels like a celebration even though there is no party, you will find yourself in a quiet room with your own reflection, The mirror will show you someone who looks younger than they did yesterday, not because of sleep or skincare, but because the weight of waiting has been lifted from the muscles around your eyes. You will smile at yourself, a real smile, the kind that children offer to mirrors before they learn to judge their own faces, and the person in the glass will smile back with complete recognition. This is you. This has always been you. Not the worried you, not the braced you, not the you who checks their phone with dread. This is the you who trusts the weak, who trusts the morning, who trusts that good news is not a trick but a natural law that has simply been waiting for its turn to demonstrate itself in your life. Sleep will come differently tonight. Not the sleep of exhaustion that feels like falling into a hole, but the sleep of satisfaction that feels like being tucked in by hands larger than your own. Your dreams will be populated by symbols of arrival, of welcome, of doors opening into rooms filled with golden light and comfortable chairs. You will wake up on Tuesday not with the usual Monday hangover, but with the momentum of someone who has been given proof that the system works, that effort is seen, that patience is not a fool's game, but a strategy that pays out in currencies more valuable than gold. The smile will still be there, a resident now, not a visitor. It will greet your coworkers, your neighbors, the strangers who cross your path, and they will respond to it because smiles are contagious in the way that viruses are, except they heal instead of harm. By Wednesday, people will ask if you have changed your hair or your diet or your medication, and you will say, "No, I just got my Monday back." And they will not understand, but they will feel the warmth radiating from your direction, and they will stand a little closer to it, drawn by the human need to be near someone who has remembered how to hope out loud. This is your inheritance, Virgo. Not a single moment of joy, but a reset of your baseline. The news is the key, but the door it opens leads to a room where you are allowed to expect good things, where your default setting shifts from prepare for the worst to anticipate the best, where your nervous system learns a new language that does not include the word dread. Monday has always been the villain of your story, the day that stole your weekend and demanded your performance without offering any reward. But tomorrow, Monday becomes the hero. Monday becomes the friend who shows up early with coffee and a gift. Monday becomes the proof that you have been loved all along by a universe that was simply waiting for the right calendar square to make its move. The move is made. The game has changed. The board is yours. And for the first time in a long time, every piece is aligned in your favor. So set your alarm with a different feeling tonight. Not the feeling of a prisoner hearing the cell door lock, but the feeling of a traveler hearing the train whistle for a destination they have always wanted to visit. Lay out your clothes not as armor but as costume for a celebration that has not been announced yet but whose decorations are already being hung in the invisible realm. Charge your phone not because you are expecting disaster, but because you do not want to miss the ringtone that will change your week. Trust the flutter, trust the blue. Trust the Monday that has been waiting its whole life to be this good to you. It is coming. It is already on its way. It has your name written on it in handwriting that looks exactly like your own when you are happy, and you are about to remember what that handwriting looks like. Smile, beloved. The Monday of your life is about to begin, and it is bringing news that will make your heart feel like a room with all the windows open, all the curtains drawn back, all the light finally finding its way home to you.